Hi, I'm Tom Bowers.
And I'm Matt Meldrum.
We are Sons of Nothing, and we're here to talk about some of the tracks on our new album, Almost Paradigm. Every record has at least one super ambitious piece.
We're almost done, we promise.
This is The Floating World, which, for my part, I think is the earliest thing I started working on for this record. I had the title, I had an idea that I wanted it to be epic, and not much else. It took a long time to pull all the pieces together for this song.
It's painful.
Yeah, it was a breech birth, this song. But the idea came from a visit to the British Museum in 2012, and the idea of the floating world. It was a Japanese exhibit, and the idea of the floating world is the sort of arts culture of a certain period in Japan, and the sort of bohemian culture, I guess, people who live for art and beauty and that sort of thing. And I was really intrigued by that idea can you go that far down the rabbit hole where you're writing a song about the creation of art and what it means to people? Like, can you make that entertaining, and not just be lost in your own navel? The jury's still out. Really, that's for you people to decide. I don't know if we achieved it or not.
It was ambitious.
Yeah, it was. And I only had the barest sort of blueprint of a sketch of a roadmap at the beginning. I had the main melody, and that's all really, and everything else sprang from Mr. Meldrum.
And he insisted that I keep that melody, no matter how hard I fought him.
Yeah.
It's still there.
He tried to iron it out of the song again and again and again, and I kept finding ways to sneak around him and get it back in. It was pretty great. It was a lovely musical game of cat and mouse. And then there was another piece in there, the middle piece, the very quiet piece, which came from an old demo from the Grab Bag, which I don't know if it ever had a home in one of your earlier songs, but it was just a little 12-string piece that I thought was really pretty, and I always wanted to use it somewhere. And initially, the song was even longer than it is. It's 11 and a half minutes long, and I think originally it was like 15, 16 minutes. We had a whole section of it that got cut out.
It will become something else someday.
It will,
maybe.
but the lyrics from it are still kind of embedded in the song, even though the piece of music they come from. It was like somewhere in the sixth or seventh minute this thing would have happened, and then the lyrical idea was reprised later somewhere else. So that little vestigial stanza is still there, but the body that it belonged to has been excised. So when that other song gets produced, not if, I think there'll be a cool kind of sheer heart attack thing happening.
Throw it on with the other version of Thursdays that never has gotten the treatment.
True. Yeah, the super bleak version of Thursdays.
The dark version. The non-ELO version. And
this was another example where I think the spirit of our friend Tim Hollinger was in the air a little bit, and I was having trouble cracking the idea. I had the big idea, but the smaller ideas weren't quite there. I didn't quite have the through line yet. I wanted to make it more specific and more personal, and in carving away at the lyrics and trying to get this idea of what is art for? Why do we do this thing that we do? What do we get from it? What are the good things that can come from it? And one of those things, it occurred to me as we were working on it, is that you're in touch with the past and the future through the Force. Things you will see, other places, the future, the past, old friends long gone, and
that's a pretty high midichlorian count.
Yeah. And the middies were strong that day, and I really felt that. I thought, that's one of the great things that Tim's passing really hit me hard. But I can take comfort in the fact that we created some things together, and as long as those things exist, he's not gone, really. And so that became sort of the impetus for the middle of the song is a sort of seance, if you
I think
will.
he switched over to Star Trek.
A little bit.
He's not gone as long as we remember.
Yeah, yeah. I feel young.
Yeah, this Contra.
And just we put a little bit of his voice in there just to sort of emphasize the point. But then we wrapped the whole thing up with a big old slam bang finale. And was it your choice deliberately not to do any guitar soloing on this song? Because there are lots of places where there could have been one, but there aren't any.
Yes.
Was that just sheer laziness, or was it a sort of high-minded ideal that you were?
I'm trying to think I was looking for more texture on that one. I was not looking to get bombastic. I was not looking to repeat ourselves. I was looking to do something a little bit different. My love affair with the keyboards. In fact, you should be very proud about the fact that I ended that song with chugga chugga guitars and pulled them out of the mix because it just was too much.
Too much. But our once again, our friend John Flanders stepped into the soloist gap for that song on both sax and flute and just killed it. He's all over the place and he's great. What else? What else about that song? Anything?
It's the longest song we've ever written.
It's up there. We'll see if we can beat it next time.
Yeah.